Mm. Okay, I'm sitting here shivering, so I apologize. I've been eating ice, so I'm cold. And now I look like it's winter out, but it's freezing. Damn it. Anyway, how is everybody doing? It's nice to see you guys. What's up, Steve? Hey, Red Dawn, Joshi. Hey, a marathon stream, my ass. I actually am supposed to go up and work, and I'm a little bit nervous. After everything I've been seeing. Angel's Army, I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing? Man, it's just crazy. It is crazy, crazy, crazy. I have to share. And most of the time I'm disorganized, so I apologize ahead of time. But man, this really hits close to home when this was on our block last night. I guess I'm basically doxing myself, but truth be told, I think we've gotten desensitized to the shootings because I didn't even hear it. Honest to God, I didn't even hear it. And even a bigger story in Wisconsin is I'm going to get into that one because it's interesting the names that were listed and the connection. And I actually went and commented under Queen Mayat because she's been making some really good community posts. And she's actually really good at like predicting the scenarios ahead of time. So she pieced it immediately. But anyway, shout out to her. Um, man, this is just nuts. So, like I said, I'm probably smiling because that's just what I do. But don't get it twisted. This is absolute um, lunacy. I don't even understand. I really don't. I'm at a loss for words. But here we go. Because I know it's hard if you're not in the state. You might not see the news. You know what I'm saying? Because they pick and choose what they want to put out. So I had to take it upon myself to share. And, I always have a ton of tabs up. So I apologize. But here's the one right here. Now, this guy, this guy actually had a list. He actually had a list of people that he was going to go see. So he gets to the retired judge's house and kills him. And then I believe they found him in the basement. I think he tried to kill himself, or they might have shot. I mean, he might have tried to kill himself, or they might have tried to shoot him. I think he already had a gunshot wound, but he's in critical condition. But here's where it gets tricky, and I'm like, how does this work? Because they say that he had a list of people. Now you can see right here on his list included our governor, Tony Evers, right? Mitch McConnell was one of his targets, and Gretchen Whitmore. Just saying. I mean, people can say conspiracy, but yeah, this just doesn't shock me at all. This is crazy. You can only say so much on here, but I'm sure if people have been paying attention, you can connect the fucking dots. It's pretty fucking simple. So, I mean, at first, I kind of looked into this story. The judge had sentenced him earlier in life. I think he got like 6 years, and then he was still on parole. But to have these other people on the list, what the fuck was that all about, right? It's just it's a little bit for me, but you can come to your own conclusion. I think I do have a clip up about it, but like the news report, I think it was pretty short. Let me see. That's not what I want. Yeah, there's so many, like I said, that I always it takes me a second, so bear with me. Not the gun. I don't want gun awareness. Yeah, we are doing gun awareness here, as if that's going to do anything. But also, let me say this about Milwaukee, because we were arguing about hosting the RNC, but it looks like it's going to happen. So that's what it's looking like. But this was on. I want to share this part right here. This is crazy. Let me stop sharing this other one. Now look at this. This is a better one. Not a better one, but it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So this right here just happened last night. 3 separate shootings. Um, right here. The second shooting. Let's see. Let's go down here a little bit. Actually, I'm going too far. These ads are popping up. Give me 1 second. So, as you can see, 29th and Vine, that's close. It's not far. 26th and Mineral. All these, I don't even know what to say anymore. And they've done like a call for action, right? And 49th and Hadley, at least the 15-year-old didn't die, you know? It's like, what are 15-year-olds getting shot for? And I know people are probably going to say this is something that's like typical and happens a lot, but I've never lived in a city like this. So I guess if you're not, per se, you don't see it, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, because clearly it's not going to go like headlines, right? But this is wild, man. And then I think something like 50 people were shot 50 people so far in a Nigerian church. I don't know if that's something that happens all the time, but I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I didn't pay attention that much before, but why does it seem like everybody is shooting up everything? What the fuck is happening? I don't know. People are losing their minds, man. They get scary when it gets close to home. Just saying, it gets a little bit intimidating. Sorry if I'm not addressing you in the chat, but I'm trying to do 4 things at one time. So, hey to everybody. What's up, Mega Army? Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Pendar. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I want to say the free hugs lady, right? I think I remember your name for that. What's up, V-Dub, Ginger Ninja? Preach coming through. Man, I don't know, man. This makes me a little bit feared. Like, yeah, I probably need to leave Milwaukee, right? Because this is not this is a danger zone. But what do you, I mean, am I too crazy to think that there's a connection with the Michigan thing, the judge? Like, why were them particular people on the list? I mean, wouldn't that have been something that you think would have went mainstream considering the situation? I'm just saying, the Michigan situation, don't you think that would have been something that they would have really put out? I mean, call me crazy, but I think that's something that should have been, more talked about. Other people should really know about this. I don't know. I hate to say, I really hate to say, the quote unquote false flag or, red flag. I don't really like to use that because I feel like when people lose people, like loved ones, friends, family, that I'm negating their death, or I'm trying to be, I don't know, that I'm not, I guess, being humane enough per se. So I don't like to really use that, but sometimes I guess I got to call it what I feel like it is to be, without trying to hurt anybody, because that's not my goal. The reality is, I don't give a shit about us. But Everybody knows that. It's nothing new. And I think a lot of us, if we're being honest about situations and through everybody I've talked to, I noticed that the consensus is that I would like to think that everybody would fight together if something really happened, right? That Americans would come together on one accord. But then again, when I talk to people in the, Black community, they kind of feel like, well, now you see what it is, As like I said, that's like the consensus. But anyway, I just hope and pray that that relationship gets better, not worse, because we have bigger fish to fry. And at this point, everything's on the line. It's also interesting to me that, we're told that Putin is this big, bad, horrible guy. And then we get reports from Russia that Russians are basically being told to hate us. It's kind of like a weird dynamic here, and it's not all in vain. Clearly, something's going on. Give me 1 second. I need to check something. Okay, this is really bad timing because look, I am gonna drop the link. Hopefully, somebody can come up here momentarily. I really want to talk about this situation, especially I want to know what other people think about the incident that just happened here with the connection to Whitmore. I hate to say this, I don't really want to talk about it, but it's just really awkward. Maybe I'm being too conspiracy-ish. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of that's freaky to me, right? And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fleur Burn. She's fucking amazing to me. I don't know how many years she's been on YouTube, but she puts out a lot of information. And I know some of you would think, oh, that's crazy. How could that ever be? But it absolutely could be. Could be for sure. What's up, Angel?
Hey, long time, Kelly.
How have you been?
Been dealing with my own stuff of accusations, assumptions, and stupidity, and the whole 9 yards. In addition to my job, but I just want to come on and hang out for a bit. But also, isn't it weird how when it's something like in Buffalo, the far left thinks that the black people should be owed something, and but when it comes to like the one of Frank James there, it's really no big deal to the media.
What I'm a little bit confused what you're saying. I mean, I know about Frank James, but I'm a little bit confused.
But if you think of it from the context of the did you know about did you hear about the whole Buffalo shooting a few weeks ago before the Uvalde?
Yes, I absolutely did. Yes.
What I was trying to say, if you can hear me just fine, is like people think that black people should be owed something, especially to those on the far left there in terms of the political realm. And but when it comes to like the Frank James the subway shooting, it's really no big deal.
Well, I don't think Frank James killed anybody. If I'm correct, I don't think anybody died behind that.
No, they
didn't. Nobody died.
I know that. Yeah, I know that it was an attempt, but he epic failed. So I can't compare I can't. To me, the two aren't comparable.
Oh,
Because there was
I
no like,
thought people did die in the subway thing a month and a half ago. Whoops, sorry.
oh, that's okay. No, I don't think. I think a couple people might have gotten harmed, but I don't think it was anything life threatening. It was maybe some
Uh,
injuries.
whoopsie.
Wasn't lost to life. So yeah,
Here's my theory because I talk about this quite extensively on my channel when it comes to these shootings. Unfortunately, because people demand things, they demand and they command, and I've coined the term acquisition through attrition. Give me that or else. Agree with me or else. Support my ideology or else. Support my weird lifestyle or else. Vote for my candidate or else. And this is the result of that. When people are told no, unfortunately, in society, some people are going to win, some people are going to lose. And unfortunately, because we have people out there that just can't accept things the way they are, some people are not meant to win the race. Some people are not meant to have a trophy. Some people are not meant to be movie stars. Some people are not meant to be rich. It's just a roll of the dice when it comes to fate. It all depends on the end game and how you choose to live your life to make the best of what you got. But unfortunately, we live in a society of people, especially when it comes to the internet and instant gratification. Everybody wants to be PewDiePie. They want to be James Roll from AVGN. They want to be mega superstars instantly right now. And
yeah.
if you don't do it, if you don't give me what I want, this is the result. You guys know I have a whole itinerary about Frank James on my archive.org over on my channel. You listen to his racial rhetoric. You see what Peyton Gendron was talking about up in Buffalo. Then he had this young Hispanic kid in Uvalde who was bullied to probably bullied relentlessly. I call him Columbine 2.0. He was bullied relentlessly, even though the media won't say it. That's probably exactly what happened, what pushed him to do it. People now are beginning to snap. They're losing their mind. They don't know how to control themselves. It's because of the broken families these days, with fathers being taken out of their homes and kids being raised in single family homes. Some people just can't accept, reality sometimes. I just
Yeah.
it's sick. It's crazy.
I,
Our entire society is falling apart.
I
Um.
kind of have a theory behind that though. One second, Angel. If
All
people,
right.
I'm saying this gives an excuse, but for me, I'm a person who likes to be, I don't run in packs. I did that in my 20s. So you're not going to catch me at a club. I don't hang out. So I'm used to being alone, right? For younger people who, probably wanted to go out, we spent 2 years isolated, right? I think that kind of like messed people's heads up. Not giving them an excuse, because I mean, if you're crazy, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Clearly, if you couldn't deal with that, something's wrong. But I'm just saying, I think people are like getting like activated, like they're snapping, man.
Yeah, I will agree with you begrudgingly because obviously I spoke up against the COOF and the shutdowns. All right,
Right.
obviously now all of a sudden when it comes to Roe versus Wade, my body, my choice. But funny how it wasn't like that when the COOF 19 was going around. Suddenly, my body, my choice matters when it didn't matter back then. Oops. But that's what I'm talking about. It's this blatant split in our society. It means one thing for one group, but it doesn't mean something for another group, and it's just so bizarre. And this is why people now are beginning to split completely down the middle. Our society has this dichotomy about it now. It's either one way or the other. There's no gray area. I did a live stream earlier today with someone, who's trying to bring a lot of peace to my channel, which I deeply appreciate. Him and I had a really good discussion today about certain stuff. But I understand where, you need to have a gray area in our society where there has to be room for discussion and talk and sit down. But like I said, unfortunately, that's not the way it works today. Everybody wants everything right now. They want it yesterday. They want it today. And it's caused especially the young people now, like, kids are, I don't want to use the S word, but they're self-deleting because they didn't make it on YouTube, for example. They're self-deleting because they're not TikTok famous. This whole thing, not to sound like, I'm persecuting our youth, but it's just reached this point
Um.
where there's no
Can
discipline anymore.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Angel.
Um, I agree with everything you said there. I'll just call you MAGA Army because I don't know your first name there. But yeah, it's like you said that people are self-deleting. Now, I'm not going to delete my channel. Hell, the time will come when I get the time that I deserve. But everyone expects everything to be like given to them the moment they post only one video on like this platform, for example. What? Just because you don't have like the most views as Baby Shark does, you think that you will become like famous just from one video? It takes time to get notoriety and all that. But a lot of people, especially like you said, expect everything. And not to like make a food joke, but instantly. But they think everything is like a bowl of instant oatmeal where they will get
I
what
like
they
that.
want.
I like that. That's a good comparison. Instant oatmeal. I'm going to use that one if you don't mind me stealing that from you. I
Go
like
ahead. Because they think everything will happen in an instant, even for the social media like these and TikTok. When time will come when it does, even after my first 1,000 videos, I'll get the notoriety that I deserve when it's time.
Well, not only that, but when you have kids saying, when like, it's no more, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a policeman, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a social influencer. Like what? Like, we're not doing careers anymore? Like, what happened to that?
it goes.
We're not.
It goes. Go ahead.
And we're not following paths or goals that we want to like follow step by step. They think that just because you have a degree that all of a sudden you become like the lead doctor at a hospital. Come on. Just because if I were to go back to college and get a degree in the job I have now, there would it make me a higher rate of trying to get to GM? I hope you see where I'm coming from.
But don't you understand? Listen, you're supposed to be a social justice warrior. You're supposed to fight for climate change and equity, equality, and inclusion. Your children are supposed to be little fetish objects. Your son's supposed to be
I love it.
your son's supposed to be a dildo. Your daughter's supposed to be a vajayjay, and you're supposed to wear rainbow hair and daisy chain yourself. In a logging forest where they're taking down trees. You have to be a social justice warrior. Don't you understand that? You're triggering me. Stop it.
You're supposed to be a groomer. Everyone in today's society is supposed to be a groomer.
It's sick. Like, and I agree. Like my father, I didn't have exactly the greatest upbringing. We had some serious issues in my family. I was never physically abused, but I was verbally abused quite a bit. But there are some good things that were in there to the point where, like, even my parents, my father in particular, he didn't know his dad, which I've talked about on my channel. My grandfather served overseas in World War II, and he came back here. He died in an unfortunate accident when he came home. But that blue collar attitude was was the primary reason, not just because my dad wasn't raised by his own biological father. He lost his father when he was a kid. But at least my dad, through all of that, and this is the one aspect of him I do respect, and it's a shame we don't have a relationship anymore. It's a simple fact that he put a lot of blue collar ideology in me. Let me tell you, man, I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to play music. I wanted to be a comic book artist. I wanted to do all that crazy stuff, man. I hung out with the squares in high school. You know what I mean? I hung out with the skateboarders and the metalheads and whatnot. But he's like, you're getting into the union. You're gonna get into construction. You need a good union job. And man, did he beat that into my head until I finally caved and did it. And I tell you what, man, that was one of the, even though I had a love-hate relationship when I was in the field, it was one of the best things I ever did. Now, when the time came, and of course you guys know my story, I'm not going to bore you guys with my story. It paid off in the end, and now I'm reaping the benefits of that right now. There are no such thing as trade schools or vocational schools. Now they're social justice, places. They're Planned Parenthood. They're places now where, like, instead of taking care of the drug problem, they give out free needles because these blue cities and states have to make their VIG. They have to get their side money. You know what I mean? It's so ridiculous. Like how I was raised, even though I was raised in a very tough and strict family, that idea of being a working person, working class, earn your own money. When I was 14, 15, man, my dad said, you put a dish in the sink, I'm going to break that dish, and you're going to have to sleep in that bed with that broken dish. You want to earn money, you're going to come with me to work during the summer and make money. I'm not just going to hand you money. And he meant it, man, when he said it. And in a lot of ways, I appreciate that my father raised me, my brother, and my sister that way, to put that working ethic in our brains. But that's not there anymore because you're not allowed to be a parent. Because now you see what's going on in the schools when parents stand up to defend their kids. Now all of you are being labeled domestic terrorists. How dare these suit and ties? Why do parents not get up to these school counselors and rip them out from behind their desks? All right. If the Egyptians could do that against Hosni Mubarak years ago and physically remove him from office, well, take it from there. I'm not going to finish that sentence because I know YouTube gets sensitive with that sort of thing. And I already found myself in trouble for talking that way once before. But the simple fact of the matter is, man, suit and ties don't get to decide my life or yours, period. At the end of the day, what happens in my home happens in my home. The government has no business being on my dinner plate. The government has no business telling me who I should be with in bed, or what kind of foods I should eat, or what kind of drinks I should drink, who my friends should be. It's ridiculous. And this is why society now is beginning to collapse the way it is. You have people like us. I'm going to assume everybody in here has a brain in their head and intelligent and astute and gets what's going on, and worries about our society collapsing. Then you got the others, the rest of them that you always see. You know, the ones with the pink hair and the blue hair and the pussy hats and daisy chaining themselves on highways. It's absurd. It's like, give me that or else. And it's got to stop, man. Something has to bring this to an end one way or the other, folks. And I don't want to say what the end game could potentially be. I don't want to see it either. But if we keep going in this direction, ladies and gentlemen, I fear for us all.
Absolutely. Gosh, man, you should do like speaking events, Mega Man. You can talk really.
Everything you said.
He's
Everything
on
you said.
point. He's on point for sure.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen you from the first time we interacted till now. You have had a shit ton of growth in a good way.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I told you this, but I want to emphasize on it, especially when I see that with anybody, because I mean, it's, I feel like you've learned a lot about a lot of different things, moving. I'm not like trying to say your life, but I can tell from your content that, interacting with different people, I think that might have, put you haven't changed your position. I'm just saying, yeah, I think you've kind of broadened your horizons a little bit and came a long way. So
yes, ma'am. And I appreciate that. A lot of people have been saying, dude, you've got like this thing where, and not to brag or sound arrogant or anything like that. Like, I took advanced English classes in school when I was in high school. I actually did pre-college classes in high school. I actually did public speaking, creative writing, Renaissance reading, and all that sort of thing. They were tough classes. We had to do like business presentations, learn how to make commercials and things like that. So I'm not afraid. I've never really been afraid of speaking to people, especially on camera, and when I finally got fed up, that's what initially drew me to YouTube when I had my first channel. But unfortunately, I was led astray by people that sold me on ideas, which I, of all people, should know better, to think for myself and never follow the leader. Even now, at this point, I've done my best to see through the fog. And a lot of people have been saying, you've got this thing, man, focus it on better things. Keep the humor, keep the satire, but stay focused, stay on the course. You know what I mean? And it has paid off. Like I said, I had a good discussion today with one of my subscribers. It's really cool. So I appreciate that.
No, that's awesome. What was it called in high school? Not liberal arts. It was with the speaking class. I can't think, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I remember it as being public speaking. I don't think that's exactly what it was called. I don't even want to call it liberal arts, so to speak.
No. Oh man, I can't even think of it right now. It's gonna drive me nuts. If somebody knows what I'm talking about, when you're in high school, the speaking class, because I did excellent in it too, right? Getting in front of a crowd. I did plenty of speaking engagements. Now, as I've gotten older, I get nervous. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but it's like opposite for me.
Some tips that I still remember from school, for example, when you're speaking in front of large crowds, because I was at Occupy Wall Street. I've done interviews with news crews here in my home for 9/11. No matter what the trolls think about me personally, that's irrelevant to me now. But, I'm not afraid of being in front of a camera. I'm not afraid of speaking in front of large groups of people. The first thing you got to do is, in order to break into talking to a crowd, you look on top of them, so to speak. You don't focus on them because you're going to feel that weight bearing down on you. So you focus on something past the crowd, like a wall or an alarm clock, or if you see a clock on a wall, for example, like I was always taught in school, if you're going to speak in front of dozens of people, don't look directly at the crowd at first. Focus on an object behind the crowd to kind of like break you in, so that as you get comfortable and you feel in the zone, then you can slowly draw your eyes down and actually make eye contact with the crowd. And then after that, you just go with it. Especially if you are like myself, where I do everything unscripted, I go in with a prerequisite and it's like, here it is, take it or leave it. You know what I mean? I'm very comfortable like that. That's why I don't like rehearsing anything. I don't like taking notes. It's not as hard as you think, but it does take a little bit of a nerve to be able to, come out and say certain things. So I've kind of got past that. I'm so used to it already, that it doesn't really bother me anymore. But
well, it's a good thing that you can do it. That's awesome, because I think that's that's a special quality, because a lot of people steer clear of the stage in general.
I do have to ask you though, how is that little grandbaby?
Oh, he's perfect. And thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate that. Honestly.
Oh man, we were talking about today in my live stream too. A lot of people saw the response video I made and they were like, what the hell is that all about? So hopefully some of the MAGA army came to support you and Mo. To me, I still find that to be and that's an example of what you're talking about right here in your live stream tonight, is the unhinged, vile viciousness in people, that people now are becoming inherently more and more evil and brazen. And for that man, that thing, that creature, to literally threaten a baby boy, to me, I'm sorry, that crosses a line. And this is part of it that you're talking about there, Miss Kelly, is that our society is just convincing people that everyone and everything is their enemy, so just go and lash out. And that's a very scary concept. Once a person's buttons have been pushed, that's it, so.
Well, and just, for the record, you're dealing with multiple different personalities on this platform. A lot of people come on here and they have a whole act, lights, camera, action. They're not being themselves. It's like, it's an actor, an actress, whatever. This person in particular has stated that he is on medication.
Right.
And not that it's an excuse, because you should never say, I'm going to kill your grandson to anyone. I don't care, 5 to 25. Don't bring up kids. Leave them the fuck out of any of this.
Yeah.
What's the point?
I full-heartedly agree with you. See, I openly discuss the fact that I suffer from 9/11 PTSD and insomnia, and my stuff is legit, but you don't see me going out there, go burn down people's neighborhoods. I'm telling all of my viewers, go burn a neighborhood down, go kill a baby. You know what I mean? Like, go vandalize a car. Oh, by the way, I'm under medication. I'm mentally insane. That's a cop out and excuse. That's such a cop out and excuse. And that's the thing. Like, even with Frank James, for example, I think Mr. Angel here mentioned it, talking about Frank James, the subway shooter. You know what he's going to do? He's going to plead insanity. Oh, I was mentally unstable and blah, blah, blah. Peyton Gendron, the same thing. That's what they're all going to plead these days. And it's scary, because now it opens up another door that we should be extremely concerned about. Where now, say, like with somebody like me that has actual real stuff going on, which I'm very open about. I don't hide it. And I always want people to know, like, it's not an easy thing. It's a tough pickle. Some injuries are not on the outside. Some injuries are on the inside. But unfortunately now, someone that wrestles with that, with chronic insomnia, for example, because of what I saw on 9/11 and other things that I deal with, it's going to be used as an excuse, as a cop out, as a backdoor, a get out of jail free card, like Monopoly. That's exactly what it's going to turn into. And I fear what our society is going to turn into because of
can I say something, MAGA Army, to you?
Yes,
You're right. He's good. At the end of it, come trial time for Mr. Frank James, he's going to plead, and like you said, it's going to open a whole nother thing. But if this is the case, come trial time for him, I guess you can say that this is just the latest thing on the other side, because remember 5 years ago with the whole Harvey Weinstein, it opened the whole case of Believe All Women and all that. And look what happened to Johnny Depp last week. That ended the Me Too movement. And if the criminal movement is going to be next of criminals pleading, trying to be free, continue their criminals, it's just going to create a whole nother like civil war or whatever, like the next war will come. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, but it's whatever like will be the next war. That's not world war. That'll be next if the criminal movement is next.
I'm not so concerned. Welcome, Pete. I'm going to give you the floor in 2 seconds. I'm not so I guess I see where you're going, but I mean, I think the other kid, Peyton, is not to say that both of these aren't problematic people, but he's going to try the same ploy. So it's not like this is new, the whole mental thing is a scapegoat. But go ahead, Pete. How you doing?
Hey, how are you? How are you, Kelly?
I'm
How are
good.
you, Angels Army, and I forgot the
There
other
you go.
gentleman's name. Nice to meet you. I mean, when you have been through revolution before, you know step by step what is going to happen next. And right now, worldwide, this is not just one country. We're talking
Right.
globally in every country. In Sweden, they have riots. In Sri Lanka, they burning politician homes. In Iran, they are running out of food. I can send you a video, Kelly. They have been they've been completely armed. Like they're not like police officers. They like soldiers, like fully armed with grenades and AK-47s and everything. They standing in front of stores trying to protect the stores that nobody rob any stores or whatever. But you know what? You can get mad at these people, man. We all have to eat something, and this is gonna get worse. And I said that on my channel, and I say it again. Latest by October, we're gonna see here some badass riots as well. Everything has a limit to. You can keep the people only to a certain point, like that. When people are hungry and can't get to work because gas prices are hitting $10. I mean, come on, there is
Yeah, I mean,
a choice.
it was just at 5. Now we're at what, 5:49. I'm like, man, I gotta go out and drive. It's like shit. The money is depleting. I can't even to go home. That's an easy $60 trip, man. I can't afford this shit and the food. Bro, this is rough, man.
Did you see the video on my channel I uploaded with Joe Brandon? By the way, let's go, Brandon. Talking about that one of these days, God willing, we're going to reach a point where we don't have to depend on fossil fuels. That is what this is about. It's the intentional strangling and punishing of the American people. How dare you use a gas-powered car? We want you to support globalization in UN Agenda 21 and UN Agenda 2030. We want you to have windmills. We don't want you to eat meat. We want you to live in high-rise buildings and get off that land because we want to save the snails and birds. All right? We want you to eat tree bark and insects. No more meat for you. But this is nothing more than an attempt to punish the people, to force the people into electric cars. That's what this is all about.
MAGA Army and Pete, exactly. And to respond to MAGA Army's the comment he just made, it's like, we want you to be the humans of pulling horse-drawn carriages. We want you to riding all bicycles. If that's really what they want, then might as well just go back to what the days of slavery were like, if you know what I mean.
It's very scary. I've been seeing more and more of
Yeah.
this. Even when I had my original MAGA Man channel, I went into debt with this quite a bit. I actually have the United Nations books. What they got planned as the year 2030 gets closer and closer, and it's no conspiracy theory. I actually have a video where funny how I wasn't able to capture it until I had to use screen capture technology to actually sample a video directly from an organization called UNDESA, where they literally say this Japanese dude is there like, well, hopefully we can push towards the 2030 agenda. And they literally say it. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. That's
Right.
what all of this is about. They want that. This is what you call the micromanaging of mankind, of humankind, to micromanage our behavior. And this is arrogant meddling with nature is what gets people into trouble in the first place. It goes against God's divine plan. It goes against God's divine will. There are many stories when human nature took it a little too far. The story of Sodom and Gomorrah, most famously, or even the story of Noah and the Ark. We can even look a little bit more fundamentally that way. That when human nature starts playing or humans, start playing games, God's going to get pissed. And this is mankind's arrogant attempt to meddle with the human race, human behavior, and nature. Nature knows what's best for all of us, okay? We all live, we're all going to die. It's the truth of our existence, man. It all depends on how you live your lives. But these people think they know what's best for you. They want to tell you who to love and what to drink and what to eat and who to talk to and what to drive, what TV shows you should watch, what news outlets. Why do you think they push for censorship? Because they want you to buy into all of this crap. And we have to resist it at all costs. I used to think Glenn Beck was a nut job when he used to talk about this very subject.
I know, right? I
And
know.
meanwhile, Glenn Beck called this out years ago, and I never paid attention to it until I actually bought physical copies of the book that he showed on Fox News when he was actually on staff on Fox News. And everything that he talked about is happening right now. And I still feel like so arrogant and dismissive of it at that time that when I finally got the literature myself, I'm like, oh my God, this man was right. Now, everything you see, the gun grabs, for example, the reason why the crime is so high is so that they have a reason to blame the guns because they actually have too much faith in people. All right. We have a lot of strange fuckers out there that cannot be controlled. It's like the Joker. If you watched, the second Batman movie, the Heath Ledger Batman, they call it, some people can't be bargained with. Some people can't be reasoned with. Some people just want to watch the world burn. They even said that in the Terminator movie. Some people you just can't reason with. Some people are just born to be criminals, man. You can't control people. And for law-abiding citizens like us, I guess most of us, if not all of us, somehow obey the law. We live our lives like American citizens should, and hope for. We are the land of opportunity, right? But, that's not good enough for them. They don't trust you to make decisions for yourself. They have to be big daddy government, big mommy and daddy. Well, are you allowed to say mommy anymore? Is that racist? Is that bigoted? Am I a white supremacist because I said mommy? Can someone point this all out to me? Jeez, it's so confusing, isn't it? It's so confusing. It's mind-numbing.
What you just said there, if any of you remember the days of the mid 2000s, I think it was 2007 or 6. There was an episode of Drake and Josh where Drake and Josh had went to go save a monkey there, and then some dude came and bought a monkey from Drake and Josh for like the tune of 50 or 25,000. But then it was someone that was wanting to eat because of the monkey being famous, and then Megan was like, "Sure, I'll let you out, Drake and Josh, on one condition." No conditions. Okay, I'll leave you in there to death then. Wait, what's your condition? I'll let you out if we bring Bobo back to his original owner, and you buy the car that I want. And it's just Megan trying to get everything of her way in order for her to let Drake and Josh out of the closet. And that's what this whole system is the people of the far left or those who not even are willing to agree on something, want something out of it. Like, yeah, I'll agree to your conditions if you pay for my new $1 million house.
Yep, acquisition to attrition. That's exactly it, my friend. You said it right there. Give me that or else I want that or else You know, unfortunately, like I said, man, I'm not trying to be a bully or pick on people because I say this quite a bit on my channel. You know, some people, unfortunately, and I'm sorry to be so blunt and punctual, but some people are born to suffer, man. Not everybody's going to make it. And I genuinely feel sorry for people. I went through homelessness myself, man, but yet I picked up, here I am in a beautiful home, great friends. I started all over again after my separation happened. That's a whole tragedy. I'm not going to get into it here on the channel, but I learned on my own how to survive and pick myself up. I didn't say, oh, it was Obama's fault. It was the mayor of New York's fault. It was climate change's fault. No, it's me sleeping in the car, suffering. And I didn't want to end up dying by my own hand or dying from depression. I picked myself up and I did something about it. And that is something that is lost today. The ability to stand up on your own 2 feet and fight back.
Well, what do you think? This is one thing I argue, not argue, but I've talked to other people about, where I feel like the government is responsible for some of these things, right? I could take it to the whole Oliver North, Iran Contra, all that stuff. Everything they've done to try to disassemble everybody. Like,
I'm going to agree with an asterisk. The government does have a lot to do with this, at least with Trump. You know, he kind of untied everybody's hands. He cut back on taxes. He was getting the border wall built. He got rid of NAFTA, put the USMCA in place, got us out of the Paris Accords. Employment was skyrocketing. Coal miners went back to work. We were working on a Keystone gas pipeline. The problem is they don't want you deciding for yourself, and that's the whole subtext in all of this. The government wants to tell you what to do. They want to control everything. You have to remember the old adage: power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That goes for conservatives as well. All right, not every conservative is an angel.
Can we put our focus on these people? How can we be, you know, let's say 95% and then 5? We should have the fear of God installed in them. I don't understand how this dynamic works, but
it all starts at the home, Miss Kelly. It always starts in the home. If you have responsible parents that raise responsible children, and parents that aren't selfish, that aren't self-centered and self-interested, unfortunately, once again, I blame a lot of this on our social media, on our news networks, on our newspapers, our magazines, these pointless TV shows like these cooking competitions, forcing people into pointless competition to what? You made the best eggs? I mean, what, are you kidding? How come we don't have shows about people building the best homes? People competing to build homes and building homeless shelters. How come we don't have shows like that? No, it's not entertaining enough. We need people to suffer and cry. That's what it's all about. Entertainment, baby. You know, it's like the movie Network, for example. You ever see that? Watch that movie. That's exactly what it's like. People want to be entertained. They want to have all the magic and, you know, all the thrills and spills and chills. You know, like the Kardashians. It's mindless television and mindless media that does this to us. And if you don't unplug from it every so often, like I do, every so often I take about a week or 2 off, or I take 2 or 3 days off just to remind myself, oh my God, I'm looking out my window. I don't see any flying elephants. Where are the unicorns? Where are the elves? You know, this isn't Lord of the Rings. Where are the, well, unless you're cosplaying, where are the stormtroopers and the TIE fighters? They're not there, because I remind myself that this is reality.
Right. 1 second, Mega Man. Hey, thank you so much, Scrimshaw, for the Cash App. I really appreciate it. Thank you, dear. Much love to you. Pete, I know we've had this, and the reason why I feel like it's important, repetition is important for a reason. There's a reason why, not mentioning any names, but there's a reason why certain people repeat the same rhetoric every day, and we all know what it is, because repetition puts it in your head. You're not going to forget it, you know. Right. And like I said, Pete, we've talked about this before. You've been through this in your own country, and I know you pay attention to like worldly things. Like you dropped that link about the gas prices everywhere. Now, I'm interested in the fact, and I'm going to bring this up again, is like, did everybody overlook the connection with Russia and China? That is a big issue. You know, I don't know if you paid any attention, Pete, or Mega Man, Angel,
Yeah,
anybody.
they
Yes, I
have
have.
blocked the entire Black Sea, so Ukraine cannot even export a damn thing. Um, I don't know if you have paid attention to that too, but they used to export over millions of tons of uh, grain, flour, and every other um, seasonings to the United States. So um, we are pretty much on our own. That's one of the reasons why we are running out of food.
Now I heard, I'm just saying I'm heard, maybe you guys can verify. I heard that is far the way production is going right now and the the stalling and the things that are running out that we have like 60 days of more deliveries, if I'm getting that correctly.
It was actually 10 weeks, but yeah, by now it should be 6 weeks. But at the same time, we are hitting the solar minimum, which means a drought is getting worse, and we're going to experience worse disasters coming. So that's going to be a problem for the entire globe um, to grow any food. Like these farmers going to have big problems in this case.
It's frightening because I actually think I have it on my channel. I'm not sure, but I did see the English translation when Putin before all, or I think it's in the very beginning when either before it started or when it was first in progress, where he said, you're our people, come home, telling the Ukrainian soldiers, go home. Just to me, what it seems like, and there's plenty of evidence to support the theory that even though he's an old KGB man himself, it almost seems like he's trying to reclaim those old Soviet states, to re-annex them, to be part of the Soviet Union again. That would be like like what happened out in the 80s with Ronald Reagan tearing down the Berlin Wall, for example. But that's because the people wanted that. This is now the opposite of what happened in Germany with the unification, because the people wanted that. The people in Ukraine obviously I don't think they want this, unless you're in Eastern Ukraine. Apparently, they're more supportive of Russia than anything. But do you think that this is an attempt to re-annex these Eastern European countries, to re-annex them as part of what was once the Soviet Union? Because they tried this again and again and again and again and again. And even Mikhail Gorbachev, back in the 80s, he said this isn't working anymore. And then of course Boris Yeltsin came in, and then now, look who's in charge now. So what do you
Well,
guys think?
yeah, I think it's absolutely an attempt of that. But when you say this, maybe I don't know, maybe somebody can interpret what this means, but what is he trying to say? Horsemen of the apocalypse are coming. What is that supposed to mean?
Rain, rain, thunder, earthquakes, floods. I believe the four horsemen refers to, I believe it's something in religious doctrine. I
Okay.
don't remember exactly what it is. I'm gonna have to look this up myself. I know it has to do with religious doctrine when it comes to like earth, water, fire, rain, things like that. I believe that that's what he's referring to. You guys can fact check me on that.
Elements that are going to be destroyed on Earth.
I'm actually looking it up right now. The four
Oh,
horsemen.
I couldn't hear her. What'd your wife say, Pete? Hey, Patricia. I couldn't hear it.
Can you say it loud so they can hear what you say, since you are talking?
Here it is. The four horsemen of the apocalypse are four biblical figures who appear in the book of Revelation. They are revealed by unsealing. They are revealed by the unsealing of the first four of the seven seals. Each of the horsemen represent a different facet of the apocalypse: conquest, war, famine, and death. So I was close. I knew it was something religious, but I just wanted to fact check myself.
Basically, the four horsemen will go to each part of the earth, and they will destroy of the earth as God has intended for it to be. It depends on which part of the earth that you own, that which part you're going to be destroyed with. And the seven seals are the seals of sin. Basically, what you're going to do is, we already had almost the seals. We had the four horsemen first in 2012. Then we had 2015. We had the the trumpets in the air. Then we had the fish dying. Then we had blood in the sea, and we had the birds are falling. We already having the signs of Revelation. That's what it means.
Got you.
Got you. Thank you for that.
Yeah. But this kind of stuff, that worries me. And I know people say, well, why would they bomb it? Why China has too much money invested here and blah, blah, blah. Okay, they might not necessarily do that, but it wouldn't be hard between the food, the air. I mean, it's so many ways, right? I mean, they don't even have to step foot here.
Yeah,
Well, I'm worried about 2024, Kelly. Now I've been reading a lot about this stuff. In 2024, Saturn will get close to get the closest to planet Earth, which the Saturn's electromagnetic field will interrupt with the Earth's magnetic field, and that's gonna create electric storms. If you haven't seen electric storms, you should look it up. That's gonna be really, really scary. That's gonna destroy all the crops on this planet.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to interject here. I'm going to discreetly exit this incredible live stream. Miss Kelly, like always, thank you very much for having me on here, and everybody in the chat, and to my fellow content creators. If you don't mind, I plug my link into the chat. Come over to MAGA Army. So thank you once again, everybody. Kelly, please be safe, and please take care of that little grandbaby. He's so gorgeous, man.
No, thank you. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a great night, MAGA Army.
Yes, sir. Say hi to Mo to me, by the way. I know he's probably back there.
What up, bro?
I knew it.
Yeah.
What's up, Mo?
Yeah, he's back
All
here.
right, let me get on out of here. You folks take care, all right? God
All
bless.
right, you too.
But I like to respond or do a rebuttal to you, Pete, right quick. I don't believe one sec about the whole Saturn thing. 12 years ago, not 12 years ago, 10 years ago, come December of this year, it'll mark the 10th anniversary that people believe for the longest period of time that I think it was December 12th or December. So I know it was sometime mid December where people believed the whole conspiracy that the world was going to end in 2012, 10 years ago. And I don't really believe one second of the whole Saturn thing that you had just mentioned.
Angel's Army, that was a misunderstanding because they thought the Mayan calendar, because the Mayan calendar ends on that day and the world would end. That was something stupid that they spread out on the internet.
Yeah, I think this is a completely different ball game. This is something that, I'm not one, like everybody was freaking out at Y2K. Remember that? They were like, man, when it turns to 2000, the computers are going to shut down. It was like going to be the end of the world. And yeah, right. Nothing happened.
No, but when you look at the weather, for example, you have a snowstorm in the desert in the Middle East and all this stuff. The North Pole is moving southeast, and the Earth crust used to move 40 miles per day, but now it's moving 143 miles per day. So it is getting stronger, and these disasters are getting more worse than ever before. So if I was you, I would really take that serious and don't believe like, oh yeah, I live in Florida or in California, it's sunshine always here, it never snows here. Just look up what happened in Saudi Arabia or in Dubai. In the summer it started snowing, and recently even in Colorado.
And what's this about here, Pete? Sweden by protesters angry about anti-Islam rallies?
Yeah, they've been attacking the police and starting riots in Sweden. Same as in Sri Lanka, they burning the politicians' homes because they ran out of food and gas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You know, by October, we're gonna see stuff like that over here as well. That's what I really believe.
By
Well,
when did you say? September, October?
I said by latest October, we're gonna see some riots even in the United States.
I can't say that I'd argue with that. You know, I really don't know, but I think the clock to me is definitely, if I had to put the doomsday clock on anything, it'd be like at 11:57. Just saying.
I mean, the only like doomsday that would be for me is for the day that my last minute is up here on this planet Earth here, or the day that I died, for shorter speak.
Man, I mean, the gasoline everywhere is like, I see there's that other article.
I mean, 11.20, Kelly. I mean, you need to chew this in your mouth. $11.20 in Hong Kong. All over Europe, over $9. You know, we just received over $9, which is in Los Angeles. I believe it's 9.76 or 9.50.
950.
Yeah, man, it's killing.
I mean,
I don't know how. Yeah, I definitely don't know how people.
if you scroll up, where all the way to the top,
Okay.
and you can set it up for on gallon. Yeah, go a little bit down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see.
Okay,
click on that one.
U.S. gallon. Okay.
Yeah. Now go down and look it up. $11.20 in Hong Kong is the highest right now.
Whoa. Norway is right behind it. Jeez, man.
And you were complaining about 5?
Yeah, I was complaining. We're at Norway. I said, what are we at? 459? Something like, yeah, right. 459. That's a lot for here.
I really don't know what they're supposed to do. I mean, $11.20. Okay. Now, if you have a 20 gallon tank, that means one full tank is gonna cost $220 for one. Hopefully, that lasts you for a week. That's $880 a month.
You need a damn scooter.
If you just fill up once a week, you know.
God damn. Yeah, I definitely, that pisses me off because, like I said, you know, I can't go home like that. You know, I couldn't go every other day. Shit.
Well, in this case, sell your car and get a horse.
Get a horse. It'd take me forever.
I mean, I don't know. You know, we can't afford that type of gas prices. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know. And then, you know, when you go up to my country or Venezuela, you know, I get really mad because that's where I'm from, right? And look how cheap the gas is in my country.
Man, I gotta go down and see.
20 cents per gallon in my country, and 11 cents or 8 cents in Venezuela, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's dirt cheap. What I don't understand is I don't really hear a lot of complaints about this gas thing though. It's not, I'm not really hearing too many people say anything. I think it'd be more of a bigger deal, but I guess with everything else going on, people aren't really complaining too much per se. I don't know what else the reason would be. It's amazing, man.
But this is not gonna stop, Kelly. That was like 6-7 months ago. I said, you know, gas price is gonna go over $15, and like you see in Hong Kong is already by $11.20. And same like with food, that's not gonna stay the way it is. Everything is gonna keep going. That's not gonna stop. And like on my Persian community platform that I'm sometimes I go to, they like really naive. They don't believe anything is happening. I'm like, oh, okay. They're like, yeah, what? Why should I prepare for something that hasn't started yet? I'm like, don't you see what's going on? But I don't know. I hope everybody is gonna stay safe and prepare as much as they can. I mean, it is hard to prepare at this point too. Since everything is getting more expensive. I did the compareness to the stuff that I bought before 2020, compared to the price to now. I'm like, damn. I'm glad I bought it back then because I would pay now triple the price for it.
Man, it's crazy. And then yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I was showing about this gang here, stealing cars, and these are young kids, and they clearly stated it's going to be a bloody summer. Like,
Right.
what? It's like,
Yeah.
morality has to be at an all-time low. Not that we really had it, at an all-time high ever, but I'm just saying,
Right. I mean, this is not funny, but I was reading it on Facebook. Somebody said, hey, I don't need to spend a lot of money to get hooked up with the girl. All I'm gonna do is offer some chicken wings. He made it in the funny. You know what?
Oh my God!
You know what? I'm sure that's gonna be happening pretty soon. Even though that sounds so funny.
man,
Oh my God, that was
That-
hilarious.
that was a good one. Yeah. Some chicken wings. Well,
Oh my
the
God.
reality is people are going to have to make sacrifices, and probably do things they really might not have done in real, on a regular day. Is what
Right.
it is.
I mean, because you don't have a choice, Kelly.
But Kelly Ray, at the end of it, at the end of it, there, as the old saying goes, money can buy happiness, but it can't buy me love. Yeah, you can. The two of you can finish munching on chicken wings, but we'll like keep the two of you together. Keep on bringing the chicken. Then it probably will.
Oh my God.
I love what Pete had said there.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't. Moose Man is right. Yeah, it's affecting them too. But I just don't hear the complaints about it.
But I said that long time ago. You remember that, Kelly? I said, the time will come where they're gonna be knocking at your door and offering their service, because they don't have anything,
This administration has got to be. When I was looking at the exception, and not that it really even matters anymore, because fuck it, I'm not right, left, any of that. Yes, I support Trump. That's it. That's all. And I can't believe that his acceptance rating is like worse than anybody ever. Like an all-time low. I don't even know how they would. The only way they would be able to pull off a 2024, if we get that far, is to do it bogusly. Just saying.
Right.
And not that it too much matters, right? Because I don't even see. I don't know what 2024 is going to look like, but I'm not like, and I don't play one on TV.
Kelly, if you haven't seen this video,
Where is it?
I would recommend you watching it. I'm gonna put it in the private chat.
Okay.
Well, whatever.
Yes, DMT. Yeah.
Whatever happens in 2024, there will be some surprises, but in the end, I wouldn't be surprised whatever to happen at the end of it, especially with the way things are turning.
Well, this is the other thing that I have concern with. What Scripture Man is putting in here. You know, truckers um are paying exuberant amounts of money for fuel. You know, how are they going to keep running everything across the country? Um, you know, without food skyrocketing.
I mean, forget the food for a second. The way the gas prices are going up, they're gonna be bankrupt pretty soon.
Well, hey BMT. Yeah, yeah, for sure. He said the companies are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? What's up?
How are
Hey,
you?
Hey,
long time
BMT,
no see.
Hey, what's up?
great to see you again, man.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Just figure I'd come on Kelly Ray's stream because I haven't seen her in a while. I know I haven't seen you too.
Yeah.
I love what you do.
Thank you. You can also join my OnlyFans. Kelly, why are you judging me?
Your OnlyFans. Everywhere look, we're all gonna have one within a year.
But see, the thing about it. The thing about it is this. And I had a job earlier. I had a job earlier. Of a guy. He hired me. He hired me to go get his girlfriend because she was selling her body, and she was 6 months pregnant. So, but these are the times we're in. You know, granted, technically, I'm like, she's not really breaking any laws. Well, yeah, she is because she's an escort. But, however, she was like, "What do you want me to do? Like, your job is not enough, and it's not enough, and this is what we're at." Um, it definitely, we definitely are at some times. Like I say, people are seeing shootings. I expect that to happen now because that's the sign of collapse. That's a sign of collapse. So now, what used to be, now that the London Bridge is actually starting to wobble and get ready to fall down, if you're not grandfather claused in, then you're already your ass out. And doesn't matter if y'all want to say go right wing, go left wing. The bird is gonna die regardless. The bird is gonna die.
Bird is gonna crash. Huh?
Yeah, it's going down. It's gonna crash. It was cool. It was a cool ride, and it is what it is. I'm not upset. I'm not upset at it. I just understand it for what it is, and so these things are going to happen, and they have to happen for for the systematic reset. Um, I just did a stream. I think you was coming in on, Kelly, where I was telling all the plan Bs are just about gone. Like the women cleared them off. Like, and I tell anybody if they don't believe me,
What, they took them off the shelf? They bought them?
Yeah, they bought them. They're predominantly either bought or they can't keep them on.
Oh wait, I did hear. I came in right when Miss Nichelle was talking about how white women were aborting biracial kids. Something she was talking about. I was like, man, I came in at the right time.
You have an impeccable time for always coming in on these conversations. They're an impeccable time, Kelly. I told you about coming in on these dark conversations. No, but they
Oh my God.
But these things are going to happen. These things are definitely going to happen. But also in the same ladder of things, you're also having it where We have to. They're like I said. They're going to start going into more of a social system, where just like how y'all talking about businesses, the micro businesses cannot real holistically stay afloat or even keep up holistically, like the cost of fuel. Like I know because our family's into transportation. Like good luck keeping vehicles full, keeping mouths fed. So people are going to actually start being deadlocked in. I know they don't want to show that, but desperate times are going to call for desperate measures, and so you're going to start seeing that actually play out. And nobody wants to admit to that, but it is something that we are going to start actually um, seeing happen as the times actually start to dwindle on, or how's the best way to say it? Yeah, it's just something that we just can't holistically help anymore. So, I mean, if you're looking for the military to come in or whatever type of alleviation of pain, you're going to
Well,
start
that's
seeing people.
not even gonna work, BMT. They implemented that. They put in a curfew here and in Racine because Racine just had a shooting at a funeral. Okay,
Mhm.
so they implemented curfew and came up with the idea of potential martial law to curb these killings, right? But
Right.
now you already know what happens if people agree to something like that. So it's a double-edged sword. But I think eventually they're gonna put the hammer down anyway. So
So, okay,
Okay.
so
Can I say something before I like get off? Going back to like BMT saying to you, Kelly, of you having impeccable timing. Well, imagine if I was eating something on my Stone Channel stream there, Kelly, and you're coming at the weirdest moment. It would be like me saying, "Wow, Kelly, you have impeccable taste."
hmm.
will taste.
Well, imagine if I was eating something on my stream and you came in at the most like weirdest or disgusting moment there, and it would be like me saying you have impeccable taste.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Because BMT said you have impeccable timing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Imagine it like that. But I just want to give you that funny before I head off for tonight.
Okay.
I still have yet to make dinner. It's because my dishes have been running for these past 2 freaking hours. I don't have no 1 hour dishwasher, unfortunately. It's those long like cycles that are too tiresome, or like you don't want it to go that long, if you know what I mean.
All right. Well, thanks, Angel. Have a good evening.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Angel.
No problem. Bye,
I,
everyone.
Bye.
it.
So, what will happen is this, and I'm glad people always ask about that. Uh, People always ask about that with the military. So, first of all, I gotta be honest. That patriotism, and me and Snowman had a conversation about this a while ago. Um, what I swore an oath to, what me and John swore an oath to, is not the same thing as other people. And when you use the patriotism argument, oh hey, like you swore an oath. Well, what oath did I swear an oath to? Okay, like there's a difference of like the constitutional values. You got to throw out that old Magna Carta, because if that's the case, then a lot of those things are like that's like a police officer swearing an oath. And after a while, things get rough, and they're like, hey, like I thought
Yeah,
you swore an oath to like stay and fight. Like, hold up, dude. I got a family. Like,
yeah,
the hell with that shit. Like, I got my own oath. So now you have to start incentivizing. It's not like they're robots. You know, it takes a whole different bracket to make somebody want to stay and fight. To what I'm saying, like it's not the same. Versus what I will call them adjudicators, and what that will be is you serve the system, you serve, and you do a service. We will reward you with a certain lifestyle. So in other words, it would be that of you keep those people in check, you'll get this certain lifestyle, your family will be awarded, you get this health care, X, Y, and Z. So they're going to optionally pay people to treat or to do certain things to actually get other people in check or in line. And so that's going to, I'm telling you, you're going to watch. You're going to start seeing it happen because how do you enforce something like that? People are not going to give up their guns. People aren't going to give up.
Are you sure about that?
No, they're not going to do it. The only way, here's the thing, and they're not going to give up their guns. Like, here's the thing about it, because there's no way holistically to get people to do that. It's going to get pretty bloody before they give up their guns. That's one thing I can say. That's one thing I will definitely give it to Americans is, yeah, you'll have the latter of those people that will say, okay, yeah, they'll go along with certain stuff. But when it starts getting radical, listen, people were getting violent just for damn toilet paper, Kelly. So I imagine how it's going to get. You're going to see some pretty wild, funky shootouts when it comes for goddamn taking, turning from. That's when you're going to see the real stuff start to pop up. When they start actually thinking. But listen, women are already freaking out when they say, hey, whether women agree or disagree, it's going to be hard to find women agree on, well, they should get rid of Roe versus Wade. Women are going to be like, no, fuck that. Like, whether I agree or disagree with abortion, you still should not have that right to choose that of choice over us women. You get what I'm saying? Like, women are still going to unanimously look at that like, nah. That's why I'm saying, like, these rules.
Our worries, though, BMT. That just seems like that's a monkey wrench thrown in the game. Like,
you know what I would call that? I would ultimately call that a proxy test. I would call it a proxy test, like a test fire. And I tell that to a lot of men, like, I don't think y'all should be cool. Even for right wingers, don't be cool with them trying to get rid of that. Hey, no, I'm for life. True, but I'm for choice. You understand me? Whether I agree or disagree, choice is still a choice. And when you start taking away people's choice, then that's a problem. We can agree on that. Whether I agree or disagree, and I don't give a damn how y'all feel in the chat.
I know what you're saying.
Right. So I know me and you, we can have the hard conversation. When we start playing the game with choice, understand, guys, we're opting out of certain freedoms. And that's a dangerous game that no American, no human should have that removed from them. I don't have to agree with you, but I definitely don't want your right. If your rights can be taken away, you know what I'm saying? Canada, they were damn fools. Fuck that. That shit was already being made when they were like, oh yeah, we're putting a freeze on handguns. And I'm like, well, y'all never ever have to worry about me ever saying I'm going to Canada. Ever fucking again. I will probably be.
Yeah, but what road did Canada go down to get to the place they're at? Because that's my concern. I mean, people have been so passive through all of this. I don't know what. Sometimes I wonder what the reaction will be. I feel like I'm kind of losing a little bit of hope.
I like that. Keep losing hope. You see, when you lose hope, you got a good taste of fear. When you have a good taste of fear, here's the thing about it. Fear keeps you alive. Fear lets you know that don't ever drop your guard or get caught lacking. You understand that? You understand. You understand. Hey, when you go outside your door, you better keep that pocket knife on you at all times. So in case somebody get a little too frisky, you can slice their crotch right off. So you got to be mindful of that. I know y'all think, man, BMT's on some dark shit, but I'm trying to let y'all know, man. Like sometimes you gotta listen, man. You gotta have some evil in the world so that way you appreciate the good.
I was thinking the other day, like, man, we need some vigilantes out here or something.
You're going to get that. You're going to get. Trust me, nature has a way of correcting itself to do things like that. I'm telling you right now, where, like, understand, like that wasn't the cops that took out the Uvalde shooter. That was some border patrol Hispanic dude that I was like, oh fuck that. I gotta take this kid down.
His wife, no, his wife was a teacher in the school. She texted him. You know, that was a complete fuck
Right.
up, right? You know,
Right.
and he had to come in and disable the threat. That's just
But see, was he going in as a like, hey, I'm doing this as a service? No, he went and said, I have to save my wife. That was his mindset. And see, nobody's going to judge him. You get what I'm saying? On oh God, like you weren't on duty. No, fuck that. Fuck duty. I went there to go save my wife. I went there to go save my friend. I went there to go save my girlfriend. See,
right.
you're gonna have these things that are going to happen. You're gonna have these things. Like I told like one person, they were like, dude, you're not a cop. I don't care. Like if my friend or somebody I care about is in danger, fuck the laws. I'm getting my strap. I'm gonna have to let living tribunal have to just sort it out. Like, hey man, is what you did valid? And see, when you have these situations start to happen, now we get to start challenging that of the scrutiny of these laws and say, hold up, bro. That man killed that dude who went to go shoot at a church or shoot at kids. Well, because he wasn't trained, fuck that. No, let him go. Because we need more like that. So you're going to have it where people, you see what I'm saying? You're going to start seeing these things are going to start unfolding. You're going to start seeing, you got to let these things unfold themselves where these ridiculous things that they're pushing. Oh man, defund the police. So guess what? When the criminals start acting a certain type of way, and guess what? When Kelly gets tired and Kelly's, one day she's with her dad, and her dad is getting harassed, and she pulled up that 12 gauge and pops them two ain't shit punks. We're just gonna have to judge and say, hey, old woman, her dad being harassed, she pulled it out and defended herself. Go about your way. See, after a while, people get tired, and when they get tired, they start beating up and killing the bullies.
Man, I just seen this fool. Like, what is he? 20 years old. Just took I don't even know what kind of gun that was. Maybe a Draco. Don't quote me on it because I'm not a specialist. He's riding through a residential area, rolls his window down, sticks the gun up, and just starts spraying. No target, no nothing, just shooting everywhere just because he's a fucking lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hell, man.
So I can hit at that one. Okay. As far as it goes for that Buffalo, a coward is going to be a coward.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I know we don't want to believe that. A coward is going to be a coward. Whether they got a uniform or not, I don't know why we think because a person signed up to be a cop that they literally are about that life. This is not Miami Vice.
Clearly we learned that.
Like I like anybody can be a criminal, whether they're in uniform or out of uniform, whether they're wearing certain type of clothing or not. So if you can't work within the parameters of your job, then I don't know what to tell you. A coward is going to be a coward. I don't want them using, well, I'm afraid I'm going to get scrutinized. What are you talking about? You already put on the uniform. They're already going to pick at you and call you names.
Well, yeah, definitely. You can't use the fact that, I was bullied. Oh, shut the fuck up. We all got bullied in school. Kids are mean.
Right.
Suck it up, but whatever.
So that, like I said, I know some people that were cops. Shit started getting hot at the club. You know what they did? Get in their squad car and say, fuck that, I'm out. I'm not doing this shit. I don't get paid for that. I mean, I get it. Hey, they'll tell you right now. They'll tell you right now on the radio. If you don't got backup, don't engage. And the Florida shooting at the gay club, some of those cops didn't even go inside until they had better gear. Granted, they had guns. It was one guy versus 12 of them. They could have dropped them. I think it was like 6 of them.
That
Sister.
shit drives me.
And it's, but again, everybody's cool until they actually are dealing with a gun, or they're
Oh man. Well, I gotta get up out of here because I gotta go drive. Pete, anything you wanna say? I know you've been pretty quiet. Or maybe he's on mute or gone. I don't know. What's up, Rocket Man Rocky? Sorry, I've been on here for like an hour and a half, and yeah, I gotta go drive and try to make some money. So, oh, BMT.
yeah.
BMT, I was just saying how I gotta get up out of here. I gotta go drive.
Oh,
I gotta get out.
just when it was getting good.
Yeah, unfortunately, duty calls, man.
Yep. To all the people, I definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, yeah, prohibition didn't work. The war on drugs, prohibition didn't. No, it didn't. Actually, if anything, and I see that history even proves it. When they put a cap on alcohol, if anything, the beatings and the drinkings actually ramped up even more. They got worse. I'm telling you.
They set us all up. If you think about it, everything. Like I said, they put the dope in for everybody to sell and use. Then they lock people up. It's just like wash, rinse, repeat. Now we got this opioid shit. It's just whatever. It's all crazy, man.
If anything, now they have it with the fentanyl.
Yeah.
And yeah, fentanyl is getting out there, and I'm sorry, that fentanyl ain't no game. Like that fentanyl, like I said, it was some people they got caught. They got caught with fentanyl. They ran in the bathroom, and two of the people they said, "Well, shit, we gotta get rid of this stuff." Well, just put some in our butt. I shit you not. So one of the dudes tried to put some fentanyl in his ass. He died. Why would you pack that much fentanyl in your ass? It's beyond me. But hey,
who knows, man? We just had 6 dead here, and I know more to come. Somebody put a post? Oh, Bug Out Bushido put a really good thing on my community post. I was reading it out, like, damn, man, yeah, that is so true. But it is what it is. What do we do now?
I'm just saying, man, like, I get everybody's like, the answer is to get rid of guns. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm just letting y'all know right now, you can give up your shit. You can give up your shit. I'm going to take my chances. I'll take my chances with the world, because fuck that. It's going to be a haves and have-nots. If anything, only thing, they can't take the guns off that are already out there. So the best thing, what they're doing is they're ramping up the cost of ammo and getting ammo.
Wow.
And that's what they're doing. That's why I try to tell people, get your ammunition. Stop doing videos online about guns. Stop doing videos. Stop going online and buying bullets. Y'all are retarded. Buying bullets online. That's dumb. Like, everybody be thinking, like, what are you talking about? That's smart. Dude, if they watch you when you buy fertilizer at Lowe's, why don't you think they're watching you when you're buying bullets?
I know. It's
I'm just saying, dude, like, you don't think the FBI is not in their opinion who's buying bullets?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So,
well, thanks for coming through. Appreciate you a lot.
Yeah, like, I'm just saying, man, like, Kelly, keep doing what you're doing, calling out straight down the middle. I've actually now I'm starting to call out goddamn all kind of shit. And like I said, we got to just be realistic, man. There's no such thing as left or right anymore. It's just this bird is going to crash.
Yeah, right. Hey, you won't get no argument out of me. But thank you, everybody, for coming through. I appreciate you. Stay safe. Much love.
God bless Biden. Biden.
Fuck Biden.
I love you, Biden.